So, does the DOJ have to turn over all that information that Senator Graham has requested? Well, let's talk about it with the creator of the new podcast, Talking Feds, Harry Litman, and Cal Berkeley law professor John Yoo. Welcome to you both.
Thank you, Shannon.
Okay, so to read a broader quote from Chairman Graham's letter, he says this: the committee is deeply concerned with these discussions and whether they essentially indicate that two of the highest-ranking law enforcement officials in the United States were discussing what amounts to a coup against the president. Harry, they're referring to McCabe's assertions that they talked about the 25th Amendment and whether there would be those willing to go along with that.
I'm sorry, me first?
You, Harry. We'll start with you.
Yeah, Shannon. Okay, well, look, it was a really remarkable, dramatic episode, and maybe the American people need to learn about it. There's two ways in which it seems to me the Graham letter is a little bit politically slanted. It wasn't just the two of them. Those are the two they want to demonize now, but it's clear, John can probably appreciate this, there was an atmosphere of crisis all over the department and real concern after the irregular behavior of the president in firing Comey. So you know, that's one thing to keep in mind. The other thing to realize is that as sort of stunning as this was, it's going to be, I think, a real battle about whether it gets turned over. My best guess, though, I wonder what John thinks about this, is that in fact the whatever assertions of privilege or deliberative privilege the executive makes won't prevail, and this will see the light of day.
Well, and John, I mean, looking at the request from the senator today, I mean, he says he wants to know everybody who was in the meeting, because maybe we've only heard those voices or those names, McCabe, Rosenstein, other names thrown around. He says, I want to know everybody who was there, and he's given him until March 29th to turn over all the info.
That's right. I mean, it wasn't all hands on. Oh, I'm sorry.
Look,
I've got an earpiece. Go ahead.
John,
Harry could talk. Harry could talk for the whole show. Come on.
Yes, he could.
I feel bad interrupting him here, but look, anyone who thinks, look, there's a lot of controversy, disruption in the Justice Department after Comey's firing, but anyone who thinks in the Justice Department that the 25th Amendment applied, that President Trump was actually, under the terms of the Constitution, unable to discharge the powers and duties of the office, ought to have his head examined. And I hope Lindsey Graham's about to do that. I think that, I wouldn't go far as say it's a coup, but I think you had an unconstitutional use of the 25th Amendment. If people think Trump's a spy, then the avenue for that, correcting that, is impeachment, not to claim or pretend that Trump's somehow medically unfit and removing him from office. Second, and this goes also to Harry's point, I agree, I could see the FBI or the Justice Department claiming executive privilege, but you know who can waive executive privilege and force all those people to testify? President Trump. All President Trump has to do is say, I'm not invoking privilege. Go up and testify and tell Congress everything that happened and everybody who was in the room.
Okay, and now
it would be a bizarre claim of executive privilege because it's not helping the president in his deliberations. I would also just say coup seems a loaded term to me as well. They did bandy about the 25th Amendment. They bandied about everything. But
wearing a wire.
All we know is it was a genuine quandary. What do we do here? This is kind of crazy.
Okay, well, just a note I want to make, too, that the chairman is also, Senator Lindsey Graham, asked for a second special counsel. He thinks that it's time to dig into how the DOJ and FBI handled the Hillary Clinton email investigation, because the more we get information released from Lisa Page and Peter Strzok and others, it raises all new questions about deals that were made and all kinds of things. So we'll see if he gets that special counsel or these documents. But, gentlemen, come back because we always have more to talk about. Harry and John, great to see you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Shannon.